Hello, my name is Jane Dora. I'm age 62. I have had ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, for over 22 years. I'm in the severe category, which means I spend at least 16 hours a day in a blacked out room, and I haven't been able to work for decades. I have the whole range of ME symptoms, and I was officially assessed at an ME clinic. At no time in my 25 years has any doctor, and I've seen a lot of doctors, as you can imagine, have they ever suggested that I have a blood test to find out if there was if I had any food intolerances that might be contributing towards my symptoms, right? To find out if I had a food intolerance that was making things worse, right? I was aware of the York test a few years ago, but I was so ill, I thought I can't travel to take a blood test, I'm just feeling too ill and everything, and just forgot about it. But the last 6 months, things have got much worse regarding two specific symptoms: headaches, sick headaches. Terrible, awful, overwhelming. The homeopathic remedies that I used to treat general sick headaches were no longer effective. I researched and tried other remedies. They were helping a bit, but it was overwhelming, totally capacitating. I was in a really bad way. I went online. I discovered the York test again. But this time I read that I could do the test on at home, that they could send me a kit, take a blood sample, send it back, and they would be able to identify if I had any food intolerances. And I thought, I can't resist this, because I've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. If they find I've got no food intolerances, I'll get most of my money back. And if they do find there's an intolerance, then I can deal with it. So they sent the kit, it was sent back, they acknowledged it immediately online. Then within 2 days online, they sent me an email with all the details, with a report which I could understand. It was simple, easy to understand. Then the next day, all the information arrived in the post with a leaflet, and I discovered, to my amazement, that I was intolerant to cow's milk. I was intolerant to chili, which, as you know, is in all the ready meals that I have, and I love chili con carne. I also discovered I was borderline for grape Chardonnay. Right, I don't drink, but for somebody who drinks, would you think grape Chardonnay could be responsible for your terrible hangover in the morning? You know, you've had 2 glasses of wine and you're thinking, I shouldn't be feeling so ill, and it could be that it's a particular grape that's behind it. I also discovered I was borderline for egg white. Who could think of such a thing? Egg white, no more meringues. So, to cut a long story short, cut to the chase, the milk I got hold of first was lactose free cow's milk, and within days the headaches almost stopped, virtually stopped. Headaches and nausea stopped. Remember, this is not a cure for ME. The York test isn't about providing a cure for ME. There is no cure for ME. What it's about is identifying any food and drink that's a trigger that's contributing towards you experiencing awful symptoms, or experiencing them worse than they could be. In other words, as an ME sufferer, I do get headaches, but suddenly, at the age of 62, everything had gone to a whole new level. And homeopathy was not working, no painkillers were working. This was really bad. I was really despairing and very, very depressed about this, because it is just awful now. Because I've got the ME for 25 years, and I thought, I can't handle this. This is terrible. And so, as I say, the lactose free milk, 95% improvement. I've been trying to find a milk that I can tolerate, well, not tolerate, but you know, that I can cope with. I've tried goat's milk, I've tried soya milk, I've tried oat milk. I know I've got oat milk in the fridge, I've got to try that. I've tried flax milk. You know, I'm trying everything, but I haven't found anything that I feel I can live with. However, lactose free milk for me has given me a 95% improvement. As I said, this is not a cure. It doesn't mean I'll never get a headache again as an ME sufferer. What it's done is reduce drastically the severe, overwhelming nausea and headaches that could not be relieved by any pain relief. It could not be relieved by any homeopathic remedy, because I tried them all. Nothing was able to deal with it. In other words, the last 6 months, this nausea and headache had reached a whole new level. And this is at the age of 62. This is extraordinary. This is at the age of 62. Suddenly, I am lactose intolerant. But I don't know how long I've been intolerant to cow's milk. You see, I don't know, because at no time during the 25 years has any doctor said to me, do you know, have you ever thought of having a test? We could do a test to find out if any foods are just making things worse for you. They know, you know, I've got the full range of ME symptoms. I am chronic. I am in this 10%. You know, I will never work again. You know, I am, you know, I'm bedbound 16 hours a day. You know, I'm severe. And yet no doctor has ever thought of saying, well, maybe, you know, something in your diet is contributing to making things worse. Remember, it's not about a cure. It's about finding things that are making things worse. Yes, you get headaches as part of ME, but this is intolerable. And by identifying something that is making things worse, I can then take control and stop it. Also, my stomach went flat, which was incredible. You know, like some women, I never thought I could have a flat stomach, but the stomach's gone flat, right? I don't bloat anymore. I don't bloat. Now, strictly speaking, I should stop the cow's milk completely. That's obvious. But I'm just having lactose-free milk, cow's milk, and that has made a 95% improvement, and that's made a huge quality, improved the quality of my life. Right? I'm not overwhelmed with sick headaches day and night continuously like I was. I'm not you know, full of despair because of these overwhelming sick headaches that could not be relieved by anything. So I feel it's money well spent. I spent, what is it, £250 or something. I feel it's money well spent. I paid for it using my disability living allowance. And what a sensible use of that money it is. I mean, that's the kind of thing disability living allowance can be used for something like this. Because for people like me, finding out if there's a substance that you're eating or drinking that is contributing to making your symptoms worse, and you can find out what it is and then take control and stop it. It's fantastic. Also, I feel it's great value because even if you find you've got no food intolerances, that's very useful information to know, because you can tell the GP, look, I've had this test and I know there's no food or drink that's responsible for these stomach pains, right? There's no food or drink that's causing these headaches. So that is very helpful for a doctor to know, because it's about elimination. They have to eliminate. And if you're saying, look, I know there's no food or drink that is responsible for these symptoms that I'm suffering, then it chivvies the doctor along, and it helps to guide them as to the next step to find out what is the problem, because if it's not a food intolerance that's causing your symptoms, then the doctor will have to go another route to find out what's causing the problem. So this is a fantastic tool, an elimination tool, right? I think it's very, very useful. And you know, even if I didn't have ME, I'd still take this test. I'd still take it. I think because it's just, isn't it? It's just wonderful to find out, is there something in my diet that could be impacting my quality of health. It's about quality of health. You get used to feeling a certain way, but you don't realise if you're intolerant to a substance, when you stop having that substance, you can actually feel a lot better in yourself. And we all want to feel a lot better in ourselves. And so this is why I'm doing the video, because I would like to encourage people and for them to know that you can have this blood test done at home. You don't have to trek across the country to York to have it done, right? You don't even have to haggle with your GP, because the GP doesn't have to. You can suggest something to a GP. Like, I think I need a blood test to find out blah blah blah, but the GP can refuse. They don't have to do it. You can suggest something to a GP, but they can say, I don't think this is really necessary. I mean, you know, these tests are expensive, and I don't think it's necessary. They can refuse. You can ask, but they can refuse. But what this is doing, because you pay for it for yourself, and you can find out for yourself. And isn't this fantastic? You've got the control. You can go out and find out for yourself. And I am so glad I've done it. I think it's worth every single penny. And you know, whatever your income, you know, if you're struggling on a low income, try and save up. And if you can't, you know, get this test. You've nothing to lose and everything to gain. If they find out you've got no food intolerances whatsoever, you will get most of your money back. So it's a win-win situation.